Good job. I'll fluff it up.
Get in the kiddie pool! Get in the kiddie pool!
All right, can we get this shit down in man's height? You know?
I think it was fine.
All right, so I'm Brian. I'm from Copenhagen. I'm not. So I'm guessing everybody wants a fluffy.
Stay alive!
So I'm not a comedian, you know, but I'm more like an adventure. I travel around the world and I see a lot of weird stuff and funny stuff, apparently. Last year I was up here telling a story about me going into a store in Germany and for some weird reason everybody thought that my misery was funny, you know. So that's that. So this year I brought a couple of stories. They are still from real life, but they are more like a servant, an observation from a Danish guy towards the American side, you know, because we see America a lot differently in my country than you think we do. So I grew up with a very weird vision of the United States. You were all a bunch of madmen with guns in your hands. Apparently they were. So, but yeah, I was indoctrinated with a lot of insanity in the United States. And for some weird reason, you have a thing called duct tape. You know? And I get now it's for fixing ducts. You know, but when you get taught that shit in Denmark, it's called duct tape, like in the bird. You know? And when you get that explained from your parents, your uncle, even your boss at work, he's going to tell you that shit's called duct tape. So I grew up with a vision in my head that not only do we have a bunch of madmen running around with guns, they're also shooting the ducks, you know? But it doesn't end there. When they shot the duck, my vision is that they're running around with a duct tape in their pocket, you know, and just after that they'll just bump those ducks up, you know, strap their legs together, you know. But why else would you have duct tape? You know, it makes no sense. So I think I was 25 before I realized it was not called duct tape, you know. You know, I was like, my whole vision just fell apart, you know. Oh, so it just means it's just for ducks? You know? So that was my first big letdown of the United States. I had the prompt up to being pro duck killers. I kid you not. You know, I had the whole vision that when I was in bed at night visioning that shit, you know, there was a pro duck killing going on. You know, I had a vision that maybe you didn't even tape out the ducks. Maybe you taught the dog to tape out the ducks. I don't know. You know. So that was the first thing. So now we're here 20 years later, and I kind of know what America is now, but I still get amazed about the weirdness that's going on. So last year when I was here, I flew from Denver to Chicago, and in Chicago I decided to go get a meal because I was really tired. I spent 24 hours in airports, and I was really tired of real stupid people. And for some reason you have a lot over here, but that's a different story, okay? So I was really tired. All I wanted was a fucking burger, so I went into this joint. And I sat down in the farthest corner I could find to hide myself. And this waitress comes over. For some reason, they always have the same expression. It's like, "Hi, I'm Cindy," you know, or Mandy, or Sandy, or Mary, or Wendy. You know, they all have two syllables. There's no Marilyn or Charlotte or something like that. They all have two syllables, you know. And for some reason, half of them is called Cindy. I don't get that. So she came over to the table and she started bugging me. And I've experienced it before, but that day it was intolerable. You know, you get your order, you get your burger, and you sit there and you just want to eat. I'm tired, I just want to eat. And she comes over, I kid you not, every time you put your fork in your mouth, this woman's gonna come over. Is everything okay over here? Are you all right? You know? Yeah, you know. Yeah. And you're like, whoa, calm down, woman. You know, she's standing like Chucky. Hey, I'm Cindy. You know? And for some reason, Chucky also has two syllables. You know, but that's that.
Are you sure it's not Karen?
But she came over 5 times. I keep it up 5 times in 15 minutes. She was at my table bugging me, and I just had enough. So here's what I did. I called the woman over after I made my plan, you know. I called the woman over and I said, look, Cindy, let's make a deal. You get your 20% right now. No questions asked. It's yours. But for every time you come to my table from now on, I'm gonna deduct 5%. That was the deal. She did not think it was funny, but she kept to the deal. She did not come to my table, but I promise you, every time she walked around, I got this look. You know, this guy, you know, like she did something wrong, and all I wanted was just to eat my fucking burger.
Yes!
You know, that's why I need some privacy when I'm eating. You know, is that too much to ask?
Looking at the fucking movie. And your reading glasses.
And you know what?
You know what? I have biscuits and gravy.
She stuck to the plan.
She comes to me and she says,
She had her thing, she stuck to the plan.
pancakes are fucking good.
But here's what she did.
The pancakes and gravy. So I go for the pancakes and gravy. And she says, what does she give me? A fucking marathon of food that I can't eat. It is a plate that I will never finish. It is, it's a plate that I can't finish. It's fucking carbs that will end me. Right? Okay? Fuck the protein. Let's just go for fucking high sugar. Yeah, that's it. That's it. And then for the rest of the fucking trip, it's, are you alright? Do you need anything else?
Not after you ate all that.
Are you alright? No. Let's not get the fucking weird stare. Right? It's the stare of like a fucking alien that I just can't respond to. Because I'm from England and Scousers are like, yeah mate, is that alright? Yeah, fuck off. And that's it. That's what you get. That's it. There's a lot
Oh, you're not allowed to say fuck off. Then you're the worst immigrant they ever had. But here's the thing. She got her revenge, you know, because she could not let that slide. So she went, here's her plan. Cindy. Yeah, Cindy came to, and she decided, you know what? I'm going to hand out free cake to the entire restaurant. You know, so she went around, oh, we got cookies complimentary on the house. And I was like, oh, I kind of like want a cookie. You know? And she just looked at me and was like, yeah. You probably need service now, huh? Yeah, right about now you want a cookie, I bet. You know?
Probably some cake.
Yeah, you should know. She should know me pretty well. But that was kind of my 2 stories. I'll have more for you next year.
All right, give it up for Polar Bear and Ellie B. That was amazing. All right. Now, Sean, are you feeling fluffy? A little fluffed up?
Oh
A little
yeah.
extra hard there, brother?
Tell me.
All right. Without further ado, the gentleman that doesn't need an introduction.
All right. Let's go right to it. Glad everybody made it here. A wonderful Jam in the Plains, number 6 here. One of the things I love about it coming here is just the truth, like we just saw that, the truth and honesty. Really just call out what you see. And I don't know, that's the thing about a lot of people say they love travel, and like that's, I don't know. I think you love being in different places. I don't think you love getting there. I think like you just discussed, like traveling, like airports, drive traffic, you know, travel, food. All that shit I hate so much. I don't know, you're not 6'4", you probably fit more conveniently in most conveyances. But for men, it sucks. We have to deal with all the issues and like the women just get to sit there and be like, I'm just waiting to arrive at a new place. You handle all the bullshit involved with that. So travel actually sucks for most people. Hey, I'm not gonna argue, I like being in different places.
Unless you're going to the US, then the journey is the best part.
Oh, okay. I heard a lot of travelers get constipated coming to the U.S. That's literally from the travel book. We do not have a United States version of Montezuma's Revenge or Jelly Belly. No, that's a myth. We don't have that.
Myself due to the social media.
Oh, she got more bowel issues from the social media in America than from the food. I agree with that. Yeah. They put a lot of chemicals in our food just to make sure the
I
kool
walked here and I shit myself.
Yes. Walked here and shit himself. I had that same problem. No, but like that's the thing. Like truth is honest. But what I like to address is actually the lies. That's to me what's funny, right? Let's talk about the lies that are going on. We all know we're well informed about panda bears not being real, right? We've all figured that out. We got gone over this.
Thanks to you.
Yeah. I brought this to the world. Well, I've got other issues with things. What about meteors? Right? Is anybody still believing in those? Those are fake as hell, right? Oh, they killed the Like, okay, let me just break this down. Okay, their main argument that meteors exist is that they evaporate before they land, so there's no evidence at all. That's how convenient, huh? Who would have thought of that? They're like, hey, guess what? No, they leave these massive craters in the ground. Look at the moon. The moon is covered with them. I'm like, I don't know all the craters on Earth. I don't know if you're retarded, but I'm not. I know that they're all formed by volcanoes, right? We've all learned that. A volcano makes a lava, and then the caldera collapses, and that's where craters come from. Yeah, those aren't meteors striking the surface of the... And here's another argument I've got. They're like, oh, you won't find a meteorite. No, of course you won't. That's why they're not anywhere. It's because, oh, you silly idiot, didn't you realize 70% of the Earth's surface is covered with water? So a meteor just is gonna fall into the ocean. You'll never find it. It's sand now.
So why the fuck can't people...
Right? And I'm wondering, well, statistically, that means, right, like whales, how many whales have gotten hit in the forehead by a meteorite then, right? That's my question. Are all those scars you see, it's like, oh, fighting squid? No, that's meteorite. They came up to get a breath and the world punched them in the face. Space said, fuck you, whale, you're getting punched. That's gotta be a tough life, that's all I'm saying. But no, I don't think they're real. You know, and then they also, I see that thing, oh, there's that one in Russia, right, that exploded. I was like, are we having this conversation? Something exploded in Russia and your first assumption was an object from space, huh? That's the explanation you're going with? I don't know, I'm pretty sure just like somebody was on a plane that needed to die. And they're like, yeah, we'll just use the meteorite excuse and just, yeah, go ahead and kill switch that one. We'll find some plane parts in the crater, but nobody will ask questions. We'll just call it radioactive and move on. No meteorites are making it. Oh, what's the moth fight? We're deep in moth season, right? We moth people? We noticed them, they're everywhere. I was told that, yeah. You ever go to change a light bulb, and then when you get the glass cover off, you're like, oh, this light bulb's fine. This was all moths. I knew it smelled weird in here. You're like dumping out like 2 pounds of moths into the trash can. Half of them are still alive. They're just like fucking hung over from light exposure. They're like, just put me near a windowsill, I'll be fine. Just don't let a cat touch me. Like, get out of here, you junkie. I'm kicking them down the street. They're just doing the Trank version of what a moth can. Like one wing is twitching and won't fold in. They're missing like an antenna. I'm like, yeah, look at you. You're horrible. Yeah, get off the LEDs, you piece of crap. Oh, yeah, you ever like open a drawer or a cabinet and there's a moth in there and they react like you just caught them masturbating? They're like bouncing off the walls, closing browsers, shutting laptops, everything like that. I'm like, whoa, what's going on in here, moth? I gotta wash these dishes again? This is disgusting.
Damn it, I was watching Mission Port!
Yeah. Well, then there's those psycho moths that are just like, they don't react at all. They're into it. They have no shame at all. They're just like, I know you see what I'm doing. In terms of congratulations, I just came. It's like, that's what that powder is. The moths get on That's what that is. It's moth excitement.
Crystallized.
I do not like moths getting in my shit. I try to keep fit though. I don't know if you guys notice, like a lot of people tell me I'm a very vascular individual. That's how. Actually, no. What they tell me is they say, "Wow, you look like you'd be really good at doing heroin." I'm like, wow, that just came out of the blue, but nice try. Let's start with a drink. Heroin is a third date thing.
Show us your veins, sir.
Right?
Show us your veins.
I model my forearms as dildos as a side gig. I think, check my portal, Third Arm Industries, ladies.
What is that, cayenne?
Get a kick back. Yeah, mostly, just, nitric oxide. You can boost that into your own body as well as your car. That's good. No, but it's one of the craziest things about it. So I try to keep fit. I get outside. I exercise a lot. I definitely. I was talking about the horse thing earlier. I definitely bicycle a lot. But I recently got in a little bit of an issue with that because I hit a kid on my bike.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know how the hell that little fucker got out of my garage. But when I saw him at the end of the cul-de-sac, I ran him down with my car. So, destroyed the bike, but I think he learned his lesson. He won't be looting my bicycle anytime again.
That's a good.
Let's just say he's the kind of person that was going to take my bike to a teen takeover. I keep seeing this one, I don't know, this is a great, because I work around a lot of buckets, and this is a crazy thing, and it always bothers me, but then I laugh a little bit inside when I see it. But there's this picture warning on the side of almost every 5-gallon bucket you ever see, and it is a picture of an infant face down in the bucket, and it just has a crossover like, don't do that, that's a bad idea. And there's some words underneath of that that's like, hey, children drown in water. Heads up, I don't know if you knew that, you own a bucket now, so there's some responsibility that comes with that. And sometimes they even list out like as little as ½ inch of water can be lethal to a child. And that blows my mind, because I'm a scientifically minded guy, right? We're truthers here, we do the research, we dig into it, and I want to know, how the hell did they do that experiment? How did they figure out? It took them at least one baby for sure had to die to learn that. Right?
I hope it wasn't an experiment.
And here's what, there's an R&D department, right, for the buckets, like, Lowe's or Homer or whoever figured it out. Like, there was a group, and I want to know, did they fill the bucket from the bottom until the baby died? Or did they lower the water from the top until the baby survived? I didn't do the experiment, don't look at me. Don't act like I'm the bad person here. I'm the one pointing out, hey, I have to see this every time I pick up a bucket. And I'm curious, okay? I know there was a guy in the back who was furious because he lost like a niece to that, and he's like, we're figuring it out. We have to warn the world that this is an issue. And he's kicking buckets over, right? He's like, that baby's blue, but it's not dead yet. Try again. we need to know the exact amount.
How many babies?
They actually changed it. I think it just says keep babies away from buckets of water now. That's, like, they simplified it. They're like, yeah, that's a bad idea. A lot of flock cameras popping everywhere. Everybody's been getting mad about those, right?
I have.
Yeah, they're like surveilling your baby. And I was like, hey, you really know what you need to do if you're so concerned about those flock cameras? Stop breaking the fucking rules, assholes. Not just kidding. Imagine how I was really like that. I don't like them either. I don't like being surveilled. It's part of like the, you know, the overarching, like, okay, here, it's what I like to call the you know the deep state. Well, you know it. It's like I call it what they do, gaslight, fact us. Like there's a bunch of information out there that we like. If you look it up, it's like just presented to you as though this is a fact. But then if you look into it, you're like, there's no, like the surface of the sun is supposedly 12,000 degrees Fahrenheit. And when you're smoking a cigarette, the cherry of that is supposedly around like 1,500 to 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. So a cigarette burns at 1/6 the temperature of the surface of the sun. And I'm like, well, yeah, now I don't smoke as a, you know, addiction or a habit. I do it as a self-defense method. You're gonna come at me with that, I'm gonna flick a fucking power stone at you, man. I'm walking around with a fraction of the power of a star in my hand. Are you kidding me? And they just sell those over the counter? Yeah, sure you need an ID, but man, I guess that's why they're so concerned with kids getting them. Yeah, that's like, we're talking about like, yeah, collapsing mass and stuff like that. There's another one, again, like, they always try to like distribute this, like now they're trying to convince me, I don't know if it's my age or like my because I'm a fit guy and like, so I have a lot of like, activity around that, but I keep getting these advertisements for testosterone and testosterone replacement and stuff like that. And I was like, man, they're really pushing this. This is crazy. I can't believe it. And then it started popping up, and then it got under my skin because one of the things that it doesn't seem like it would be like a selling point, but like it kind of did like make me think about it. It said that high testosterone levels are linked to hair loss. And I started fucking with my head, because I'm walking around thinking like, oh, I look like a Norse god, but apparently I'm more of a Disney princess, I guess. I'm like, oh, that's so,
Let it go.
I'm like, yeah, right? Like, I'm hardcore, but apparently my luscious mane is more bitch mane. It's like, well, man, they might be onto something. I haven't punched a hole in drywall in like years, or done a burnout in a parking garage. It really started to mess with me. I was like, man, I have way too much hair to actually have testosterone, don't I? This is, man. I was like, oh, I've just been doing the old-fashioned method. I don't know what you guys use. I eat honey and ginseng and pussy. It's skyrocketing my levels.
So you are pussy, you know, you are what you eat.
Oh, yeah. Oh, circular, yeah. Anybody ever been thinking about suicide by lightning? What's that? Not like doing it that way, but like, has that ever occurred? Has anybody been so depressed and yet like specifically precise? Yeah, they're like, you know, and like, no, who would even know, right? Because they're walking around, they like the note would burn up on strike. That's crisp and like, well, they had some ashes in their hand. I don't know if that's any evidence of anything.
You didn't do it to yourself,
Right.
God.
And who knows, like maybe Benjamin Franklin was just having a bad year, right? He's out there thunder tugging, crying on himself, you know? He's just like, all of a sudden he's like, oh, I'm getting credit for electricity. I guess I'm not going to end it anymore. I typed that into Google because I was just wanted to do research. Like, maybe there's a famous case of some suicide by lightning guy we all never heard of, you know? Or like some Green Mile incident, you know, where they forgot to wet the sponge and the dude. So I'm like, hey, maybe AI can. And you know, the first thing that popped up immediately, it just shut down all of the results, and it said help is available. Was all that came up. And yeah, I was like, oh, okay. Now I'm on some kind of list. Now they're gonna really pay attention to my electric bill. Yeah, like this guy's buying a lot of solar panels. He's up to something. I don't know, man. I'm gonna send a social worker over there. So that's why I was thought about, like, what are they going to do? Give me rapid weather updates and send me a metal hat? And they're like, oh, help is available. It's like, you want to do it? We can help you pull it off. Stand close to trees in the rain, man. It's not hard. Go swimming with that with a aluminum hat. I don't know. to me a lot when they're like, hey, I need a piece of information, but they'll say, explain it to me like I'm 5 years old. Right? Has anybody seen this? Am I the only one that's noticing this?
Yes.
Yeah, and it's really annoying because I'm like, my response to them is, well, I'm not an ageist, so I explain things to children as I explain them to adults. And I'm legally required to inform you that I'm moving into your neighborhood. Now tell me more about this you being 5 years old. I usually end the conversation with that. Anybody else polluting as much as me? I don't know.
Yes!
I've been doing that a lot. Cause first off, I know climate change is nonsense, and second off, I want to grow coconuts in Colorado. Anybody else?
Yes!
Let's get those sea levels up.
CCC, baby, CCC.
Yes, I've seen the seashells on the Rockies. We can get those sea levels up again. Right? Yeah. Well, we'll see all about that. Hey, let's burn another tire. Eat more beef. Do whatever you can to ruin the environment. Uh-oh, she's going off again. There she is. The Sneeches? The beaches? Ah, I see. Where we're going in a circle now? You're trying to keep... what? I don't know. I don't have a star belly, but I do have one tattoo that I got, and it's of an irregular mole.
That's got nothing to do with stars on Mars.
Well, I mean, I don't know. My dermatologist treats me like I'm awesome now. You know, I'm getting all of the star treatment. You know, all the best test biopsies. Man, I go in there and I'm the belle of the ball. So if I put a star on there, I think that'd be obvious. They wouldn't treat me any different.
They wouldn't treat you any different. Stars on Mars are pictures.
Yeah, Dr. Seuss, right? We all been there. Come on. I'm a Seuss purist, which these days means a little bit different than what I used to mean when I was a child. I don't know that one. The do the blue goo, you goo? Do you goo, the blue goo? I think we're losing. We're off track here. I lost. What was I even? I was talking about coconuts, and then she got on a Dr. Seuss bit. But I think we can get back on track. Okay, so we're talking about pollution, coconuts in Colorado. Okay. So what I want to do is start a cooperative Colorado-based coconut company. I'm going to call it the Coco Co. Yes. And so I need everybody to do as much pollution as possible. I mean, I don't know. I throw the 6-pack rings into the ocean. I also think that, like, just in case, even if we're not going to raise the sea levels, I feel like we could, like, at least kill a kaiju with that, right? You know, like I've seen those dolphins wrapped in 6-pack rings. I'm like, hey, what's a grocery bag gonna do to that thing? You know, when it comes out of the ocean. What are we talking about? Oh yeah, capitalism's awesome, or capital awesome as I call it. I don't know. I feel like that's. I don't know if we all agree on that, but that's like usually in debate in weird circles around Colorado. But I'm like, I feel like you only don't like capitalism because you want more capital. And I don't know, I find capitalism funny. You know how many guns you can buy in capitalism? Yeah, I got up to 8 before I ran out of capital. So, I mean, I can get more. I just have to get the capital first. So, like, can you do that in communism? I think you just starve to death, right? Isn't that how that works? Like, you can't even get food here, buddy. A gun. Nice try. We ate all the bullets. We used them for seasoning. Oh, yeah, speaking of which, and you know, there is a lot of crazy warfare that goes on out there, like, you know, the PSYOPs, the soft kill. And I don't know, I was a kid child of the 90s, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, but do you remember the first time you heard the phrase AIDS quilt?
AIDS quilt?
Yeah. You know, and so I was like thinking about American history, so the first time I thought AIDS quilt, I was like, so that's like some type of smallpox blanket, right? You just give the LGBT community the AIDS quilt, but I was confused, like, how do you get them to have sex with the quilt? Yeah, I mean, I see what you want to do there. Like, you just put, like, pictures of gay guys on it or something? I don't know.
Mike Fluffy.
Yeah, right?
Wait, wasn't Brian the Fluffer?
Brian, well, see, that's the other thing. All right, yeah. But see, they constantly do that. Like M&M's, remember like the M&M's characters? Like they had like, I think it was like yellow and red, right? They were the, and then, well, they started adding all these new ones, right? Because for the sake of like inclusivity and diversity. And they actually added like this orange one. Then it was like supposed to be this manic, crazy M&M. He was supposed to be the mental health awareness M&M, right? And that's when I got upset, because I was like, hold on a second, we already had the yellow M&M. Right? I'm just saying, his milk chocolate wasn't solid, right? That was the whole, like, you know, that was the thing. He's got a peanut in the middle, you know. He's not as smart as Red, if you get what I'm saying. And, you know, the candy shell is like a helmet, so he's safe a little bit from hurting himself. Again, yeah, I felt that a relationship between the red and the yellow M&M was very abusive, right? It felt like he was like his goon that he was taking advantage of. He's like, you do all the heavy lifting, I come up with the plans. Thinking it right, exactly. You know? But then, you know, but see, that also bothers me. Like, how come we don't, like, they didn't have the representation for the actual, like, the damaged handicap M&Ms that we do find in the bag from time to time. You know, like the albino one that comes out, it's like somehow the color spray missed it, and it's just like, well, that's a white one, you know? It's like straight up starched out. Or like, you ever get the conjoined M&Ms, right? Or two of them are stuck together by the candy shell. Like, it's like, oh, we got a, you know, it's like that country singer version of the M&M. And a lot of the time, they're not even the same color, which is like, wow, I've never seen that in human version of conjoined twins. Like, that would be exciting. Do they come in different colors like that? No, only in M&Ms. Sometimes you get a hollow, where it's just the shell, no chocolate. You ever get one of those? That's like a goth version, you know, like the real, like black pill M&M. It's like, yeah, you just end it soon. Just eat me, you know. I'm the... Also, I think that's one of the reasons why they're like kind of poisoning. Here's a conspiracy that I also came up with. I feel is a lie. You know, they tried to push like, oh, the vaccines are like linked to autism thing. You know, and that was like slightly thing. And then they tried to switch it to Tylenol, right? And they're like, oh, maybe it's that. And I was like, I'll do you one better. And I think the real reason autism is there is the autism is the result of Viagra boner pregnancies. That's where autism comes from. And they've been pushing that for a while. You have to explain. Okay, so if you take a boner pill and then you get your wife pregnant, that kid's gonna have autism. I don't know exactly why, but that is my theory as of now. Because you're faking it, so the kid has to too, I think, right? And then, okay, and that's the other thing. And since they're pushing that, right, because they want more autistic children, because, think about it, who would be a better taxpayer than an autistic kid, right? Tax day is like Christmas to them. They're doing the beautiful mind thing, trying to figure out all their deductions, you know? They're like, wow, they probably all their receipts, they're like, they got them, like, ordered by date and time and length, you know? Like, yeah, exactly. The autistic people...
Stop picking on me, goddammit.
Well, the reason, exactly, he gets it. And that's how you know he's truly autistic, because he yelled out instead of laughed.
Burying my feet because I make rocks.
Recently, I was in a conversation with someone who accused me of being a malignant narcissist.
Well, you are.
Yeah, I was like, well, this conversation's about me. I like that a lot, you know. It's like, is that a bad sign? So we can keep on this topic for a while, you know. And then, you know, at some point they tried to change the subject, and I was like, hold on a minute.
This is about me, my
A malignant narcissist, right? That implies that there is such thing as a benign narcissist. And I've never even heard that come. Like, what would that even be? What does that guy look like? Yeah, right, like some really good-looking guy. He runs a mirror shop out in the country. He's wrapped up in his inventory. He's not worried about anybody. He's got the point of sale. Every piece of inventory is facing him. When the door opens, it says his name, right? He's like, I don't even have to deal with customers. People don't even know the shop is here. I got a full body coming in this afternoon. Like one of those nice silver mirrors, the kind that vampires can't use. Yeah. I gotta close down shop early. I'm going full Medusa, right? Anybody else ever do that? That's when you get rock hard looking at your reflection. Am I the only one? I had to change gyms 3 times.
Look at you, John. Nobody's looking like you. Fuck.
Yes, you're the only one.
Okay, here's another. Speaking of like them, like they pervert media. So remember like Scooby-Doo? I mean, I grew up on Scooby-Doo. I wasn't really a super huge fan, but it was always an ever-present aspect of my, cartoon background of my life. And then they keep like in the last decade, they've tried to like reboot it 2 or 3 times to make it like, oh, I'll meet the modern audience and like make the children more mature and like, oh, we're gonna like adult. And I just thought like that. It's kind of like, okay, we're gonna make these like children more mature. Let's make the crimes more mature. Let's do Scooby-Doo SVU. That's what I want to see, right? You even have like that typical Law and Order intro, right? Dun 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 dun. It's like in the cartoon justice world, we are entertained by 2 separate but equally important groups: the meddling children who investigate the crimes, and the mass perpetrators who would have gotten away with it. These are their stories. Scooby-Doo-Doo. Scooby-Doo-Doo-Doo. And then you just have like Ice-T like showing up for a cameo, and it's like you're eating a sandwich right now? That's disgusting. There's a 7 head over there. Lord. Yeah, right? I mean, that's always bothered me about Scooby-Doo too. It's like half the time it's like, these are crimes that children really shouldn't be involved with anyway, right? They're like doing these massive like real estate frauds and like crazy shenanigans. It's like, I got a kabuki play. I gotta dress up like a guy who died here 5 years ago and scare his family out of his inheritance. I'm like, should children really be? You can just call the regular cops. You don't have to get children to investigate this crime. That bothered me a lot. That's all I'm saying. It's like nowadays, it's like you see like, oh, there's a goblin that keeps pissing on the side of my golf course fence. It's like, oh, you mean Jerry? Yeah, we don't need to get kids involved in investigating this. Yeah, that's just our local crackhead. He does that. He'll fentanyl in a couple minutes. All right, let's see. Well, I think I'm how about Bill Gates, right? This guy is crazy. Does he not been spending his entire life trying to prove to the world that he is a parasite, or at least parasite adjacent in every way possible? Like, first off, he like does the Windows thing. He makes viruses for the computers just so that he has a way to like fix them. And then like I know this other thing where he's been releasing like hundreds of millions of mosquitoes into the world under some like false premise that he's like, oh no, those are just the ones that like don't bite you, not the bad ones. I don't know why me, a measly guy that seems to hate humanity for no reason, would release a bunch of mosquitoes to wreak havoc. And then I was like, there's these rumors of like the alpha-gal tick boxes being dropped everywhere, right? It's like, oh, you've all heard this, right? It's like there's just like helicopters, and it's like Bill Gates. But so is it just like, at some point I expect him to just like burst into a flock of parasites, like when he takes off his pink sweater, you know? He's like not even like human under that skin. It's like the Men in Black guy, you know? He's gonna pull his face away, and it's just like 9 really huge like leeches, just like coming up with plans to drain humanity. I don't know. That one wasn't as funny as I thought. But it needed to be said. That guy sucks. Remember when he got hit in the face with a pie? Yeah! That was hilarious. People need to do that more often. I really like that a lot. I like that happened now. What else are we doing? Oh. I feel like they also try to gaslight us with other things, like even like the alphabet, language itself, like they try to get us to like not know, like, all right, take the letter W for instance, right? That's already just a mouthful to say, W, and like then you compare it to every other letter. It has 3 syllables, W. Every other letter in the entire alphabet only has 1 syllable. A, B, C, Z, D. It doesn't matter. They're all one syllable, except for W, which is not even a name of a letter. It's a word, and then the name of a completely different letter. It just gets to be a different. It's just like I just get to rip off a different letter but I'm double that. And it's like, I'm cool. And I don't know if you guys feel like you've been being gaslit your whole life, but every time I look at a W, I see a double V. Am I freaking crazy here? I remember like getting in an argument with my kindergarten teacher over this. It's like, no, there's no U about that. Those are hard angles. What are you even talking about? I'm like, no, it's like I'm crumbling up my handwriting test paper and throwing like, no, I refuse this. I am not W it does not belong. What is even there? It's like it's in the alphabet just so like a police officer can trip you up on a DUI test, right? They're not even listening to any other letters. It's like we'll just wait till it gets to W and see what's going on there. Oh, the double, you're going to jail. Oh, sorry, that's too many for you. Yeah, that's how that goes down. W sucks so much. And it's like the narc of letters, right? It's like all the really inquiries, like who, what, when, where, why. It's like, what the fuck, W? Are you a cop? What's going on here? It even got into how. It's like right there at the end. It's like, oh man, any way that I can interrogate you, W is gonna be there. Get out of here. Like, nobody likes you, W. What is your problem? Like, I even looked this up. There's actually only 2 words in the entire English language with 2 consecutive U's that are not represented by the letter W. The word vacuum and continuum, right? Those are the only 2 words that have 2 U's next to each other. And they're like, so even when there is an appropriate spot for a W, it doesn't even get used. They're just like, well, we got like a couple, but we're not going to use it there. That would look weird, you know? People would they'd be like, whoa, how do you say that word? Vacuum? What? Oh. And yeah, you can't like use that in a spelling bee, right? Like, VACWM, vacuum. They're like, I'm sorry, that is incorrect. I'm like, oh, what? That is, okay, there's actually another word, I missed it because it's actually, it's not technically an English word, it's a Hawaiian word. And it actually has 2 separate instances of 2 consecutive U's in it. It's the word mumu, which is a Hawaiian word, and get this, Hawaiian only has 15 letters in its language, not a full 26 like the rest of us, and one of them is W. You think they would use it when they're scarce for terms, when there's opportunity to that, but they don't even do it. They don't even do it. W is such a waste of a letter. And what even is the difference between a muumuu and a sundress? That's another one. Do we even need a different word for that?
Size of the woman wearing it.
BMI, he nailed it. The only difference between a sundress and a woman is the size of the woman wearing it. You know, don't act like you don't know what I am talking about. Like if somebody gets off of an elevator in a muumuu, you're like, I'm taking the stairs. I'm not riding with you. But if they're in a sundress, you're like, you can ride on my shoulders. I'm fine with that. Yeah, W is an amazing letter to hate on. I hate it so much. It's just, yeah, it's crazy stuff. I think I might start wrapping up here, getting to the end of. Are we all enjoying that? Was that a good time for everybody here? I didn't retread too much ground and stuff that people go, but the classics are always good. I'm trying to think of something good that we can go out on here. I went through most of my prepared material. I recently, here it is, okay. I don't know, I recently, again, I went over a lot of kind of terrible stuff in the world, a lot of like downtrodden, depressing material. I try to make light of it, I try to bring humor and brevity to negative things. But, there's another way that I tried to get inspired recently, and this was an interesting one to me because I bought what I thought would be a very motivational poster. And I don't know, it's a pretty typical one. Maybe you guys have seen it. It's a picture of a cat, and he's hanging on a clothesline, and underneath it says, hang in there. And it's a pretty cute poster, I gotta admit. And I was like, yeah, that kind of makes, it's like, things can be bad, but stick to it, give you that. But then after a couple days of owning it, it gnawed at me, and I realized, hold on a minute. This is not an organic situation to ever find a cat in. I don't know if you guys have ever seen your cat on a clothesline, but I haven't. And I've had many cats in my life, and many clotheslines as well. I have found a cat in the dryer, never on the clothesline. So yeah, and that's what I'm saying. saying is like, that's what bothered me about it, because I was like, hold on. So that means some psycho took a, like, they saw their, either they put their cat on the clothesline, or by some crazy coincidence, the cat ended up there, and instead of rescuing it, they decided they're gonna frame up a picture of it, and be like, you know what, I'm gonna let the world know that I left that cat there for as long as he could take it. Hang in there, buddy. And I'm just thinking about, like, what would you do if you saw that going down in your neighbor's yard? Like, we're looking over the fence, he's just like taking pictures, you know, with his cool pics, Nikon. He's like, you know, he's just looking at him like, should I call animal control? Like, what's going on over here? He's like, oh, don't even worry about it, man. I'm doing a whole calendar. I'm going to kick a dog, bite a horse, throw a snowball in a rabbit's face. We're going to get some animal abuse for every month of the year. I don't know. I guess with that explanation, I think it does. But it also bothers me, too. Here's another thing that bothers me, aside from the implicit animal abuse that you see in that picture, is
and you caught it.
that one of the things that cats are most famous for, I don't know if you guys have heard this, but it is landing on their feet, right? So if a cat is caught on a clothesline, for what reason ever would it have to hang in there? Wouldn't the expression just be, say, just let go? I think that would be a much better thing for a cat to do. I think I want to make new posters that's just an empty clothesline and it just says, just let go underneath. And that's going to be the message I want to send to the world. Anyways, I've been John Ferguson. Thank you guys.
All right. So.